This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Hello and welcome, everybody. We are back. High school baseball is live on the Oklahoma Sports Network. It's Game 3 of our Thursday regional triple-header. The Carl Albert Titans, the Lawton MacArthur Highlanders from Bill Tipton Field in Midwest City, Oklahoma, on the campus of Carl Albert High School. It's a winner's bracket game between the Titans and the Highlanders. Winner moves to 2-0 and one win away from reaching the 5A state tournament next week. Josh Calloway on hand here at Bill Tipton Field. Tracy Mussett alongside me. Jordan Ray on hand as well. The Titans and the Highlanders both winners already today, looking to make it a perfect 2-0 as they get within a win of the state tournament. Just moments away from getting started, so let's not delay too much here. Let's go ahead and get straight into the starting lineups. First for the Titans, who are on their field, but they're going to be the road team today, trying to get tricked up by that too much as we go along. Boston Holland, number 5, is going to lead it off, the right fielder. Jordan Hawkins, first baseman, bats second. Nate Delaplank, the DH, bats third. Bo Davis, the third baseman, will bat cleanup. Devontae Jones in center, bats fifth. Declan Murphy, the shortstop, bats sixth. Jason Purcell will catch him, bats seventh. Jackson Webster in left, bats eighth. Lane Sexton, the second baseman, rounds it out. He'll bat ninth. MacArthur defensively, it'll look like this. Gage McNeil in left, Spencer Thurman in center, Braden Cooper in right. In the infield, Leland Kowina, Thatcher Zeller, Bo DeLong, Lou Phillips, third to first. Cade Phillips behind the mound, or behind the plate, and then Braden McDonald on the hill. So without further ado, we're about ready to go. This game a little bit delayed, about 20 minutes past its scheduled time. Weren't sure just when we were going to get started, but we are in position, and we're ready to go. Carl Albert and Lawton Mac here at Bill Tipton Field. First pitch to Boston Holland, in there for a strike, and we're underway in the top half of the first, presented by Confidence Chevrolet Buick GMC, your hometown dealer for new and pre-owned vehicles. Visit today at Confidence Chevrolet Buick GMC, exit Huderberg, 6100 Tinker Diagonal in Midwest City. Confidence is Cavender. Pitch outside to Holland 101. Had to kind of rush through that, Tracy, but we're here. We didn't know when this game was going to start, admittedly, as we went a little long in our MacArthur-Guyman game a little bit ago, but we're here and we're ready to go. Winner's bracket matchup between the Titans and the Highlanders. 1-1 pitch in the dirt makes it 2-1.
By the way, the Phillips in the game from Lawton Mac, the first baseman and the catcher, they are brothers. Or no, I'm sorry, they're cousins. They're cousins.
Oh, good catch. Lou Phillips, who pitched a complete game, gave up 1 run in MacArthur's win over Guyman, which was right here on our airwaves on OSN. Carl Albert run ruled southeast this morning to get to this point. And now these two teams meet in a winner's bracket tilt here at Bill Tipton Field. Pitch inside 3-1 on Holland. This is not obviously an elimination game. This also isn't a win and you're in state game either, but it is a huge game in this regional tournament. The winner has 2 cracks to win 1 more to get to state. The loser will have to go the hard way and win 2 tomorrow and another on Saturday to get there. So obviously a very different path forward after a win or a loss today. Boston Holland, that one on the edge for a strike. He thought that might have been ball 4, but getting the call on the mound there for MacArthur was McDonald. He'll fire 3-2, ground ball up the middle, and it's going to squeak through. Not able to quite get there was Thatcher Zeller, and it's a leadoff single for Holland. Another look at that on the Triple Elite screen printing instant replay. Find world-class designs and hot new styles as Boston Holland starts off his day with a leadoff single right up the middle.
That is his first hit of the day.
Obviously, Tracy and Jordan, you guys had the Carl Albert game this morning. A little bit of a slow start offensively, but ended up obviously putting up a big number, getting the run rule win. So let's see if they can keep that going from this morning.
Well, the common thread with the teams that lost is they could not handle base runners.
Yeah.
That was true for Southeast. It was true for Guyman. These two teams are different, so we'll see how much they decide to try to steal against the other team's catcher.
Jordan Hawkins now into the box for the Titans, takes ball 1. Hawkins, the switch-hitting first baseman, really, really talented player.
Hawkins went 1 for 3 with a walk in the first game.
That one of those hits was a bases-clearing double.
Ahead 1-0 here against McDonald. Man on first base, Boston Holland after the leadoff single. They'll check the runner back. Dives back in. The third of our triple header here on OSN. Third of what will be 4 games of the day here at Bill Tipton Field. Guyman and Southeast will round out the day. We won't have the broadcast of that one, but we'll be back at it tomorrow here in this Carl Albert Regional. That one misses 2-0 now on Hawkins. We'll talk more about that as the day goes on. A couple of OSN schools here with MacArthur and Carl Albert going toe-to-toe. Carl Albert in the home white unis. They're all the road team, but obviously the home team here at their facilities, Bill Tipton Field. 2-0 pitch. Hawkins chops it to first base. Phillips will field it on a hop and take it to the bag himself. Holland moves up to second. So a productive out for Hawkins. But it is the first out of the day for McDonald. And Holland moves into scoring position.
You know, you mentioned how important this game is for both teams. It does happen occasionally where whoever loses this game goes on to win 3 in a row. It happened with Noble last year against Midwest City, but it's rare. Most of the time, whoever wins this game, they have one more win to get to state, they get that win. And we saw that happen yesterday with Edmond North pulling a big upset in 6A. They beat Edmond Memorial in this game. One day later, they beat Edmond Memorial a second time, and they're already in state. And I'm shocked still that the Bulldogs are not in state.
I know. It really is unbelievable as pitch misses high here to Nate Delaplank, the DH. We had just a week ago at Memorial and Carl Albert on the airwaves here at Bill Tipton Field, and it was hard not to leave that game. It's one baseball game in a long season, but feeling like that Memorial team could go really far, and the fact they're not even in the state tournament is shocking, really.
They didn't even get one win away from state. But that's 6A for you.
Yep. Edlum got him. The team in the Edmond has taken off here and trying to steal third as Holland throw down, and it's a stolen base for Boston Holland. You mentioned it. That was a theme in both the first 2 games today. Team's not able to handle runners, especially the stolen base. We saw MacArthur doing that a lot to Guyman. A lot of stolen bases in their win over the Tigers, 7-1.
Southeast, they would not even try to throw either.
Ball's popped up. It's going to have a little bit of carry out to the left. Holland's probably going to try and score on this. It's fielded here cleanly in left field by McNeil. He'll fire home. Holland going to be close to the plate. It hits him in the back of the leg. And that's going to count for the Titans. And a run scores. I think he was going to be safe anyway, but that was a pretty good effort by Gage McNeil out there in left. But it's a sacrifice fly for Nate Delaplank. And the Titans are on the board first. Always nice to get the first run of the day, especially in a big game like this. Takes a little bit of the edge off always, and the Titans do just that. So they got an early 1-0 lead. Bo Davis now comes up with 2 outs and nobody on, the third baseman for the Titans. Against Braden McDonald. That one outside, low and away, 1-0. MacArthur, same unis they wore against Guyman, no time to change. It was a pretty quick turnaround. Green jersey, white cap over white pants. It was kind of a bit of a sweaty game for MacArthur for a while against Guyman. As 1-0 pitch is laced into right field. It's going to get down. I thought it might hang up and be caught, but it's going to get down in front of Braden Cooper. Take a look at that in the Triple Elite screen printing instant replay as a 2-out knock for Bo Davis into right field going the other way. Bit of a sweaty game for MacArthur in their first game. It was 1-1 into the 5th. Obviously not the level of upset that a Southeast over Carl Albert would have been per se, but MacArthur still certainly the favorite in that game. And Guyman was right with them into the 5th, but MacArthur was able to break it open and end up cruising to a 7-1 win.
Well, what you'll often see is the higher-seeded teams, they will not even use their ace that first game, but the lower-seeded teams probably do.
Yeah.
So I think Laud MacArthur saw Guyman's best pitcher. Laud MacArthur's pitcher was good, McDonald, but that's who's. I mean Phillips.
Yeah.
Phillips, but he may not be their ace. We'll see.
First pitch fouled away by Devontae Jones. Bobby Lewis Insurance foul ball. Surprisingly great rates with 2 locations to serve you in Choctaw and Del City. Choctaw, you can call them at 405-281-6700. Del City, you can call at 405-670-3665. Jones behind 0-1 against McDonald. Man on first base is Bo Davis after his 2-out single. That one misses, and it's 1-1. Good start for the Titans here on their home field. A very nice crowd on a Thursday afternoon as well. Some Lawton folks able to make the voyage. 1-1 pitch coming. Ground ball right back to McDonald. He'll field it on a hop, take it all the way to the base himself, and flip it to Phillips for the 3rd out. So a good job by McDonald to limit the damage. You can live with a run, but it is a run nonetheless. The Titans on the board first, and they take a 1-0 lead into the bottom of the first. We'll stick here in between the innings so we can take a look at the Lawton MacArthur starting lineup for their second game of the day here in this winner's bracket matchup. Leading off is Bo DeLong, the coach's son, who had a couple of hits in the game earlier today. Thatcher Zeller, the shortstop, bats second. Gage McNeil bats third. The left fielder, Spencer Thurman, who drew 3 walks against Guyman, will bat cleanup. Leland Coena, third baseman, bats fifth. Lou Phillips, the first baseman, first game starting pitcher, bats sixth. Gunnar Tate, the DH, bats seventh. Braden Cooper, the right fielder, bats eighth. And then Cade Phillips, the catcher, will round it out and bat ninth. Brady McDonald, like we said, on the mound. And here's a look at Carl Albert. Defensively in this game, it'll be Jackson Webster in left, Devontae Jones in center, Boston Holland out in right. In the infield, third to first, Bo Davis, Declan Murphy, Lane Sexton, and Jordan Hawkins. Behind the plate, Jason Purcell. On the mound, Mason Avery. And Avery, certainly one of the more trusted arms for this Carl Albert pitching rotation. Jordan, I would imagine, does this lineup Declan Murphy probably to go tomorrow, I'm assuming?
Wouldn't shock me. I think if people wonder, like, who's the ace of this Carl Albert staff? Is it Mason Avery or is it Declan Murphy? One reason why Mason Avery might get the nod is simply because, and not because he doesn't do anything wrong, or Declan doesn't do anything wrong, but I think Coach Whiteley loves having Declan Murphy at shortstop. And so that's why we're seeing Mason Avery. This is kind of the ace's spot right here this game.
Yeah.
And then the next game, if whoever wins, would be considered like your second pitcher spot.
So Bo DeLong will come in and lead coach's son for the MacArthur Highlanders. Had a good first game of the day. Like I said, a couple of hits against Guyman. First pitch coming from Mason Avery. Misses outside 1-0. Bottom of the inning brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings, 5500 Tinker Diagonal in Del City. Buffalo Wild Wings offering BOGO wing deals every Tuesday and Thursday, so get out to B-Dubs and you get some buy one, get one wings. Can't beat that. Strike in there, 1-1. Avery working on DeLong.
I was impressed with DeLong, and, he's going to college and play baseball next year at NOC, which I believe is in Tonkawa, and they do it's a junior college that will lead to Division I opportunities.
Oh, yeah. Cut on and missed. Makes it 1-2. Baseball, really more than any other sport, you go somewhere small, it really can be really fruitful for you. Just look at, for us in-state over at OU, half the roster's guys who came from, maybe more than half the roster are guys who came from small schools like that, the JUCO level. Misses outside 2-2. Major programs in college, they farm through the JUCO all the time looking for talent. So you see it a lot.
It used to be kind of like that in football and basketball, but not
as much.
Nearly as much.
Yeah. 2-2 coming from Avery to DeLong. Cut on and missed. Fanned on it outside. And look at that in the Triple Elite screen printing instant replay as he got him to fish outside first. Patrick Newby, Farmers Insurance, strikeout of the day. And it brings up Thatcher Zeller with one away here in the bottom of the first. Good start for Avery. Shortstop Zeller rockets one foul off the first base side. Bobby Lewis foul ball. That Patrick Newby Farmers Insurance strikeout. The Newby Agency, your local Oklahoma Farmers Insurance Agency in Midwest City. Agency is family owned and operated. Been serving the public for 40 years. Office located off 29th and Air Depot near Tinker Air Force Base. Come by and see them. 560 West Bowen Drive, Suite A, or give them a call at 405-733-7671. Another foul ball by Zeller. He's behind 0-2 on Mason Avery. Titans, of course, defending champs. We were there at the Brick last year, knocking off Duncan. Ooh, that looked like it caught a lot of play. It misses inside 1-2. This year, if they were to get that far, would be up in Tulsa, One Oak Field, where the Drillers play, at the home of the Dodgers last year. That one on the outside edge got him looking. And so another strikeout for Avery, a good start. Another Patrick Newby strikeout as he gets Thatcher Zeller looking, 2 up, 2 down for Mason Avery. I had to stop and think for a second. What was the name of the team last year? They weren't the Dodgers last year. They were the OKC Baseball Club or something like that. They're the Comets now. Got to keep up. The name has been moving target.
I miss the Red Hawks.
I'm a Tulsa guy, and so they've been the Drillers at least as long as I can remember. First pitch misses outside to Gage McNeil, the left fielder, coming up trying to put a ball in play against Avery. He's off to a good start, 2 up, 2 down with a couple of Ks. That one fouled straight back. Bobby Lewis foul ball. McNeil was really good in the first game. He had a couple of singles. He also had a hard line drive out as well, so he was making hard contact pretty consistently against Guyman. Bit of a different animal here, though, with Mason Avery. And he takes a big cut and a miss there, and it's 1-2. Mason Avery looking for a 1-2-3 opening frame. As the sun breaks out here at Bill Tipton Field. 1-2 coming from Avery. He got him swinging. Down in the dirt. Not a comfortable looking at bat at all for McNeil. As you see another look at that on the Triple Elite screen printing instant replay. Got him to chase. And it's a 1-2-3 inning with 3 strikeouts for Mason Avery to get the day started. After one, Carl Albert leading Lawton Mac 1-0. You're watching high school baseball regional action on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Whataburger, bring back our mushroom Swiss burger. I heard corporate said it's never gonna happen.
Corporate here. We had the bandwidth to circle back on this action item, and
we're aligned. Bringing you grilled mushrooms, melty cheese, and creamy au jus sauce. If synergy like that isn't cool, then we don't know what is. The mushroom Swiss burger is back.
we're bringing back the hits.
What a burger!
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
Call Rob and Will.
Back at Bill Tipton Field, Josh Calloway, Tracy Musson on hand as well, Jordan Ray alongside. We go to the second inning. Carl Albert leading Lawton MacArthur 1-0 in this 5A regional winners bracket game between the Titans and the Highlanders. Carl Albert is the road team. I'm sure people tune in are going to constantly be wondering as the inning. I feel like I'm going to have to keep saying that to not confuse anybody. 6, 7, 8 due up here for the Titans in the second, starting with Declan Murphy, the shortstop. He'll take inside 1-0.
I remember last year when Midwest City played at Noble, they played 3 times. Midwest City was the home team, all 3 for that regional. So it's it's different for the postseason.
Yeah.
You never know.
1-0 pitch, breaking ball took a little off it. Murphy not able to uncork a swing on that. We'll get in there for a strike, 1-1.
Murphy was 2 for 2 in the earlier game, and he was hit by a pitch as well.
Really good player, Declan Murphy. Good pitcher as well. Probably see him on the mound at some point before weekend's done. That one misses outside, 2-1. Titans got a run across against Braden McDonald in the first. Singles from Boston Holland and Bo Davis. And Holland scored on a Nate Delaplanque sacrifice fly. 2-1 is pop foul straight back out of play. Bobby Lewis foul ball.
By the way, we're following Midwest City's game. They got the regional started over at Pryor a day early, so they're already on day 2. They're playing an elimination game against Booker T. They lost to Booker T yesterday, but in the early going in this game, they're up 4-1.
That one flared foul again from Murphy, so battling off some tough pitches from McDonald.
If Midwest City holds on and wins, they will have they need to beat Pryor twice later today and then maybe tomorrow if they can win today. Tall task.
No doubt.
But you want that chance.
2-2 pitch, able to hold off it in the dirt, and count runs full. Yeah, it was interesting, like you said, that regional got moved up a day, how everyone kind of handles the weather a little different. I can't remember which regional it was. I want to say maybe Dale and 2A. Someone moved their games up today. They didn't move the whole regional, but the games were moved up today. They were started like 9 a.m. this morning or something, but we're totally on schedule here.
Well, the area games in 3A and 4A are supposed to start tomorrow.
Cut on and missed. Nice pitch by McDonald. Took something off that, and Murphy, it's kind of an emergency hack, just trying to get a piece of it, not able to. And Braden McDonald's got his first strikeout of the day. And we are monitoring some other OSN schools. Don't have them on the air, but we're kind of talking a little bit about it off the air. Newcastle in 4A, certainly a very good chance to maybe make a run. Bethany as well. Jones in 3A, Jordan noted. Having a heck of a
they're
season.
all hosting, by the way. They're all a top 8 seed. After winning their regional, they get seeded, and the higher seeds host the lower seeds. So all 3 of those schools we're talking about, including Newcastle's a 2 seed. Only Blanchard's seated ahead of them.
That one on the corner for a strike to Jason Purcell, the catcher. So we got a bunch of OSN teams that we're monitoring, and we'll see what next week looks like in terms of broadcasts and everything. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves, committing to too much on the air here, but we'll see what we're looking like, and that's why you got to make sure to keep up. As that pitch misses inside 1-1, you got to keep up with all the social channels, and of course, OKSportsNet.com, so you can know what we have coming up for you, because we usually get a pretty good amount of baseball on these 2 weeks, regionals and then state tournaments. We're kind of everywhere. Jordan and I last year, you and I did, what did we do? We did the 2. We did Carl Albert, and then was it Elgin that we did? Yeah.
I'm expecting Elgin to get back. They got El Reno, though. That could be a tough potential opponent there for their regional.
We did Carl Albert and Elgin at Edmond Santa Fe, and then we did Newcastle Blanchard at night in Noble. So we're willing to bounce around. We put in a lot of effort here.
Talk about opposite side of town.
Yeah. And
but opposite time of day, too. That game, thankfully for us, started late.
Started real late. The game before went to extras, I remember. Weak ground ball here to second. Bare hand pull and flip to first. Got him. That's DeLong, the coach's son. I don't know if he had to go bare hand on that, but he did, and it worked out.
Some things about Bo DeLong. He normally would play shortstop, and he would be one of their ace pitchers, but because of shoulder problems, he's not pitching, and they moved him to second base for easier throws. But you can see all the tools of a good infielder.
So quick 2 up, 2 down for McDonald. Brings up Jackson Webster, the left fielder. Out of the plane, you could probably hear it, but the shadow of the plane went across the field. That was, I don't know if you were able to catch that on the broadcast. But
that's how you know you're in Midwest City.
Yeah, no kidding. 1-0 here, I believe is the count. This one misses 2-0. Oh, that's in there, excuse me, 1-1. Thought that was outside, but catch the corner.
Jackson had an unbelievably good bunt earlier today. Got an RBI from it, too. It was with 2 outs, so he had to beat it out, but he got it.
1-1 is down and away, 2-1. I feel like worth noting as well, the scoreboard here, Bill Tipping Field, has been out of commission since the start of the second game of the day today. So if there's a pause and we're trying to figure out the count or something, that's why. I think we've done a pretty good job hanging with it, though, all things considered. 2-1 for Webster. 2 out, nobody on here in the top of the second. That one low and away. 3-1, so hitters count here for Webster. Should he get on, Lane Sexton will get an opportunity.
Well, you really don't want to walk this guy because he'll be a threat to steal.
Mm-hmm.
Webster was 2 for 3 in his last game, and the one time he was thrown out, it was a sacrifice bunt.
Ball foul straight back. That was a big cut. He was right on it, but just kind of missed it. Bobby those foul ball, and it runs the count full. Ray McDonald looking for a 1-2-3 second inning. It's MacArthur trying to spring the upset here on the road against the mighty Titans. Carl Albert program that just lives in the state tournament. Another foul ball back. Obviously champions.
I think it's been 9 years since they last did not get to state.
It's insane. It's crazy. We talk about that in basketball. Obviously this past year, the Carl Albert not being there was shocking.
The streak was broken, yeah.
Low and away in the dirt, and it'll be a 2-out walk. Jackson Webster will move up to first base. So a good battle there from Webster. Didn't offer it the one in the dirt, and he gets on for Lane Sexton with 2 outs.
Sexton got on base safely every at-bat in the previous game. He had 1 hit, walked on a base on balls, and was hit by a pitch.
And
Can
if you remember,
you ask
Josh,
for anything more out of your 9-hole hitter?
No doubt. That's what I was thinking. You love that for your 9-hole before you turn the lineup over.
he wasn't batting 9 for much of the games we did on the network. If you remember, I think he was more close to the middle of the order, so not a bad guy to have batting 9th.
No. Check the runner diving back is Webster. Carl Albert 26-9 record on the season. Another tremendous year for Coach Whiteley and this Titan program. Ball's lined into left field. That's going to get through. And a 2-out single for Lane Sexton, so he keeps his perfect day going. And the 8 and 9-hole hitters both get on base before the lineup flips over. Triple H Screen Printing instant replay. Nice clean single right in between third and short for Lane Sexton. So 2 men on for Boston Holland. Holland singled to start off this game and then able to work his way around. Took second on a ground ball, stole third, and then scored on a Nate Delaplanque sac fly. Now he'll be looking for more in his second look with 2 men on and 2 out. First pitch way inside. It gets away, and it's going to roll all the way out in front of the Carl Albert dugout. Runners will move up. And now the Titans have got 2 men in scoring position here with 2 out. Probably a base knock gets you 2 if you're Boston Holland. Not sure if I would call that a wild pitch or a pass ball. It was kind of a bit of an erratic pitch, but probably one that should be pulled in by Kate Phillips behind the dish. Could go either way. One-0 pitch. Showing bunt is Holland, and he pops it up, but he's going to get lucky. It's going to hit the very top of the fence back behind home plate. I guess they're trying to catch him off guard there, obviously, with 2 outs. We saw some excellent bunting from MacArthur in our middle game of the triple-header earlier.
Yeah, I think both teams have guys littered through the lineup that can lay down a bunt and aren't afraid to bunt with 2 outs.
Got some speed.
Now, what I haven't seen too often is players that aren't afraid to bunt with 2 strikes, but that's probably
a
no-no.
Whole different animal. Yeah. So count runs even 1-1. Braden McDonald trying to keep this thing a 1-run game. Got to find a way, if you're Mac, to keep this close. You can't fall into too much of a hole against this Titan team. 1-1 inside, 2-1. Especially not with Mason Avery pitching on the other side.
Yeah, I think that adds to the stress that McDonald's feeling right now that Lou Phillips didn't have to deal with last game for Lawton MacArthur. Just knowing the how tough this Carl Albert lineup can be, and that you have a tough pitcher on the other side that can really bear down. And you have depth. You have relievers who can get the job done, too, for Carl Albert.
2-1 in the dirt, 3-1. And one more out of the zone. And McDonald would load the bases for Jordan Hawkins, which is certainly a precarious spot to be in. We'll see what he does. We also, it's the give and take here. You can't just lay one into Boston Holland either. Got to find a way to come up with a good pitch here on 3-1. McDonald ready to go. Boston Holland figure can kind of key in on one here. 3-1. He's going to line it into left field. That's going to be in the gap. That's going to score too easily. Boston Holland laces a 2-out, 2-run double into the left center gap. And the Titans now lead it by 3. That was a textbook piece of hitting from Holland there. Getting ahead 3-1 and then just sitting on dead red heat. And he got it, laced it right into the left center gap, all the way to the wall. 2-run double with 2 outs.
Keep in mind, as Tracy said, for the first game against Southeast, he didn't get a hit. And now he's coming up with a massive hit that really puts the pressure on the Highlanders.
So Boston Holland 2 for 2 today. And the Titans are off to a very strong start here in the nightcap. They lead at 3-0. Looking for more with Jordan Hawkins here at the plate. That one high and away 1-0. Hawkins ground out to first his first time. Chopped it right over to Lou Phillips at first base. Cleaned it up for the out.
His first at-bat in both games has been a ground ball to first base.
That's his position, so he just wants to test the other guy.
Well, you might expect that for somebody batting from the left side as well.
Hawkins ahead in the count, 2-0. Fast start for Carl Albert here on their home soil. Two-zero pitch, big cut, foul back. He just missed, doing some serious damage with that one. Still pretty breezy out here. I don't feel like it's maybe quite as windy as it was earlier.
Oh, no, it was early in the day. It was blowing in our faces.
Yeah, it was whipping earlier. It's still breezy out there. The flags are still moving, but not to the degree before. We're in the press box, and our notes were zipping all over the place. Couldn't keep anything down in here. It's going to be a pretty nice day. 71 degrees right now. Sun is out. Can't complain. 2-1 the count on Jordan Hawkins. We'll take outside 3-1. And so McDonald just getting himself in trouble here. These Titans hitters, especially the guys at the top of the order, really at 1 through 9, but especially these guys at the top, you fall into hitters' counts. That's recipe for disaster. We saw what happened on a 3-1 pitch to Boston Holland, and now Jordan Hawkins in the same spot. Three-1 on the way. Oh, that one went behind him. Somehow it didn't hit him. So Hawkins walks. Holland is able to move to third on the wild pitch. And there's 2 men on for Nate Delaplank. Delaplank with a sac fly his first time up. He's got runners on the corners with 2 outs here. Looking to do some further damage. Titans already leading at 3-0, looking for more here against the Highlanders. Is it 4 and 6:30 tomorrow?
I believe so. We'll double check.
Times the 2 games. These 2 teams will be playing tomorrow. We know that. Both clinching a Friday appearance with their wins earlier today.
4 and 6:30 tomorrow, yes.
That one outside. Loser of this game will play at 4 against the winner of the game later this evening, Guyman and Southeast. Then the winner of that will stay alive to face the winner here at 6:30. And then if the undefeated team loses, they'll turn around and play 1 game for all the marbles on Saturday. Which we talked about Carl Albert's streak of reaching the state tournament. What's the streak of not even getting to a game 7 in the regional? That's got to be pretty long, too. That one outside. Runner's going to second, and that's why you don't push your luck sometimes. Hawkins steals. The throw goes way into center. Holland will walk in. Meanwhile, Hawkins goes to third, and it's 4-0 Titans. These are just the mistakes you can't afford to make against Carl Albert. So give Hawkins a steal. He had the bag, but the error, E2, is what allows Holland to score and Hawkins to go to third. And the Titans have scored now 3 here in the second and have a 4-0 lead. We talked about it a few times, Jordan. It just feels like teams, when they come into this place, they feel like they got to play perfect and they make mistakes. As Delaplank hits this one pretty well out to center, but getting back on and making the play is Spencer Thurman. So Delaplank is retired to end the inning, but not before the Titans strike for 3 runs and hold a 4-0 lead at the halfway point of the second. You're watching the 5A Baseball Regionals on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
This isn't just any burger run. This is a burger run for Whataburger Sweet and Spicy Bacon Burger. 2 fresh all-beef patties with melty cheese, grilled onions, crispy bacon, and sweet and spicy pepper sauce. 1 for you, 1 for him, and 1 for your unofficial roommate, Brad. Always order an extra. You know, for Brad. The all-time favorite sweet and spicy bacon burger from Whataburger. Just like you like it.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
Back here at Bill Tipton Field, Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray, Tracy Mussett on hand as well. As we head to the bottom of the second, Carl Albert leading Lawton MacArthur 4-0 on OSN. 5A regional winners bracket game. Winner here moves within 1 win of the state tournament. The game will be at 6:30 tomorrow night. That'll be on the Oklahoma Sports Network. There are rumors that the great Kirk Norman may slide in for those games tomorrow.
Only
legendary.
rumors.
The OSN Broadcaster of the Year at one point in time, Kirk Norman.
As were you.
As was I. We worked together last year in that Carl Albert Championship game last year.
That's right.
I'm kind of blanking on who won it this year, even though I was.
I don't know
there.
either. I wasn't there.
I was there, and I'm just totally spacing. My color man won color of the year, Billy Collier. Shout out, Billy. But I can't remember one play-by-play. That one in there for a strike makes it 0-2 on Spencer Thurman, the center fielder. I mentioned Thurman didn't have a ball put in play in the first game, but he was on base 3 times. He walked 3 times, struck out the other time. 0-for-1 with 3 walks.
Played good defense in center field.
He did play very good defense in center field. Had a nice play where he threw out a runner at third. Don't get a ton of that, really, in baseball, period, but especially at the high school level. He really uncorked a heck of a throw. He's got a good arm out there in center.
And he's going to Oklahoma Wesleyan to play baseball.
That went in. If you've got a good eye and can get on base and play a good center field, feels like they'll find a spot for you. 2-2 the count here from Mason Avery to Spencer Thurman. Avery struck out the side in the first. Thurman able to stay alive. Bobby Lewis Insurance foul ball off the third base side.
Mentioning our sponsors, the bottom half of the inning sponsored by Buffalo Wild Wings. Buy one, get one wing deals every Tuesday and Thursday at Buffalo Wild Wings.
I'm a big Buffalo Wild Wings guy. That one dropped in there, got him looking. Spencer Thurman just kind of got caught in a spot of, I'm not going to be able to hit that. Buckled him. Triple E screen printing instant replay. Can't ask for a much better start for Mason Avery. 4 up, 4 down, 4 Ks to start for the Titans starting pitcher. Good stuff. Brings up Leland Coena, the third baseman. takes a ball. I was really impressed with Kawina's defense in the win over Guyman. Third base is not an easy position, a lot of long throws, and he made it look really easy over there. And the Highlanders win over the Tigers earlier today, which we had on OSN. It's in their first strike, 1-1. Fouled straight back, 1-2.
Kawina went 1 for 3 in the previous game, and then had a walk as well.
If I remember correctly, that double was laced right down the left field line, if I'm remembering right. Oh, he got buckled again. Mason Avery is in a groove, folks. 1-2 breaking pitch, dropped in. That ended up getting right down the middle, basically. But Kawina was just fooled. And Mason Avery is looking sharp on a Thursday afternoon right now. 5 up, 5 down, 5 Ks. 3 of them looking.
Patrick Newby loves Mason Avery right now.
Yes, Patrick Newby, Farmers Insurance, getting a workout thanks to Mason Avery. And he did it again here. First pitch to Lou Phillips. Phillips playing first base. Pitched a really nice game to start the day for MacArthur. 7 innings, went for the complete game. Gave up just 1 run against Guyman to push MacArthur to this game. He'll put a ball in play for the first time today for the Highlanders, but it'll hang up and be played out in center by Devontae Jones. And it's a 1-2-3 second for Mason Avery. 6 up, 6 down start for the Titans starter. Way to start this thing off for the Titans. After the end of 2, they lead at 4-0 over Lawton Mac. You're watching high school baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
I'm so hungry I can eat all the tires off this bus.
When you're on the road, there's a lot of late nights. A lot of early mornings.
Not supposed to say that.
A lot of honey butter chicken biscuits. You hear my belly growling?
Yep. I'm going to need one of those right now.
And a lot of good times with my band.
What a burger.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
Back at Bill Tipton Field, Josh Calloway, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We head to the third. Good start for the Titans in this 5A regional winners bracket matchup. They lead at 4-0 over Lawton Mac. As we head to the top of the third, due up for the Titans, 4-5-6. Bo Davis will start it off, the Titans' third baseman. Had a nice, clean, opposite field single his first time up against Braden McDonald on the hill for the Highlanders. And first pitch is demolished, foul off the left field side. That ball was obliterated. Well foul, but it was driven. But strike one. Bobby Lewis foul ball. A great start for Mason Avery on the mound for the Titans. He's gone 6 up, 6 down with 5 strikeouts in the first 2 innings. 0-1 pitch dropped in there, 0-2. Meanwhile, the Titans offense done their part as well. 1 in the first, 3 in the second to have an early advantage over Mac. Trying to get to that 2-0 mark, that coveted 2-0 mark in regional play and have 2 shots to get to the state tournament next week. Blowing away 1-2.
And those 3 runs came, I think, with 2 outs, nobody on.
Correct. Yeah, McDonald got the first 2 outs, and Webster walk, Sexton single, Holland double, Hawkins walk as well, with Holland scoring on that E2, that throw into center field, mixed in there. 1-2 the count. McDonald working on Bo Davis. Ball's ripped foul off the third base side. Way out in front of that, but still got pretty good wood on it. Or aluminum, I should say.
Midwest City now 4-2 against Booker T in the third inning. An elimination game for the Bombers. Again, they're a day ahead of where we are in the regional.
So that's the 1-1 game right there.
Yeah.
Line drive to third and a nice snag at third base by Leyland Kawina. I mentioned earlier, I thought he played a really nice third base in the Highlanders win over Guyman earlier, and he makes a nice play there. That ball was smoked, but Kawina able to snag it out of the air. So if Midwest City wins that over Booker T, you said they'll face Pryor tonight. Then obviously they have to win that and then turn around and beat them again tomorrow.
Yep.
Crazier things have happened. Got to go one game at a time.
Well, nothing was crazier than what happened with Pryor last year.
True.
When they lost in this particular game to Del City. I've never been more shocked at a playoff baseball game than I was that.
Devontae Jones in the box here for the Titans. He grounded out back to the pitcher the first time. Almost did it again, but he gets just past the glove. DeLong able to scoop it. Throw to first. Got him. Boy, MacArthur's playing some defense here in this third inning. As the ball went just off the tip of the glove of McDonald. But Bo DeLong able there to race in and clean it up. Jones trying to slide in first, which is always a weird, it's one of those things. I think it's probably just quicker to run through the bag. I think what it does do for you is make it a harder call. So sometimes maybe you get lucky that way, but nevertheless, DeLong makes the play. And there's two gone, but like Jordan noted, this is where the Titans were in the second, and they end up getting 3 runs. So if you're McDonald, you can't let up. As Declan Murphy steps into the box. He struck out first time. He's behind 0-1. He'll drop a bunt to the third base side. Kawina is going to just let it go. There was no chance he could make the throw across. Wow. It hits the bag, and Murphy has a bunt single. Perfect bunt by Declan Murphy.
I mentioned this before. There's some good bunters in this game.
We're seeing that's for sure. Probably the smart play by Kawina. He knew that's going to be a really tough throw across against a guy who runs well in Murphy. Better off just taking a chance and letting it roll by you, but it ended up rolling all the way to the bag. So a bunt single for Declan Murphy puts a man on base for Jason Purcell. Purcell, the catcher, ground out to second his first time. He'll ground this one third base side. Oh, boy, just foul. That was really close. If that could have stayed over the bag, Murphy would have been off to the races, and coming all the way from first, he probably scores.
And that one was inches from the bag.
It was close. In live, I was looking at the ump because I had no clue if that was in there or not. But home plate umpire was right on it, said it was just off the bag foul. Bobby Lewis foul ball at that. 0-1. Murphy dancing off first. Pitch in there for a strike from McDonald, 0-2. McDonald a strike away from his first scoreless inning of the day. Already in a 4-run hole. Got to find a way to not let it get any worse, basically, for lack of a better way to put that, if you're MacArthur. 4 runs is a tough enough challenge against Avery and this Titans team. Oh, 0-2 pitch coming. Ground ball to third base side. Kawina able to scoop it off a tough hop fire across the diamond and got him. So Kawina continues to play a really sound third base. And despite the 2-out bunt single from Murphy, McDonald able to hold the Titans off the board and hold the deficit at 4. After 2.5, Carl Albert 4, Lawton Max 0. You're watching high school baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed, because your success is our success.
Whataburger, bring back our mushroom Swiss burger. I heard corporate said it's never gonna happen.
Corporate here. We had the bandwidth to circle back on this action item, and
We're aligned. Bringing you grilled mushrooms, melty cheese, and creamy au jus sauce. If synergy like that isn't cool, then we don't know what is. The mushroom Swiss burger is back.
We're bringing back the hits.
What a burger!
Back to Bill Tipton Field. Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray, Tracy Musson on hand as well. So you go to the bottom of the third. Carl Albert leading Lawton Mac 4-0. Winners bracket regional game between the Titans and the Highlanders. Mason Avery, so far, so good for Carl Albert on the mound. He's gone 6 up, 6 down with 5 strikeouts. The bottom of MacArthur's order will try and flip the tide here. 7, 8, 9, 2 up, starting with the designated hitter, Gunnar Tate, who will be stepping into the box in just a moment. Tate had a laser beam single in his first at bat against Guyman. Later had a bunt, a sacrifice bunt later on in the game, but the single in the first was his only hit of the day. And he'll try and repeat that here against Mason Avery to start off the bottom of the third.
As you would expect for Avery with 5 strikeouts in 2 innings, he's only pitched 23 pitches so far.
Yeah, been very efficient. Avery's looked very, very sharp so far today. Still a long way to go. Guys get their second look at him. Sometimes you get a little bit of a switch up, but so far hard to poke any holes in what Mason Avery's done. So we'll see what Gunnar Tate can do as he steps into the box to lead off the bottom of the third for Mac. Chops it foul back behind the plate. Bobby Lowe's foul ball.
Wind is picking up a bit.
Cloud cover coming back in. But after all the rain we've had, you'll take this. Not been too bad. It's at least dry. We're playing on schedule. Take that. 0-1 stays inside 1-1. Avery's 1-1 pitch is high and away, 2-1. The DH, Gunnar Tate. Popped up just behind second base. Sexton racing back on it, instead racing in to make the catch in right field is Boston Holland. It looked like Sexton was camped underneath it, but he obviously got the word from Holland to get out of the way. And he was able to duck out just in time. Holland on a dead sprint, able to run in and make the play.
Where Holland caught that ball was probably about 3 feet behind where Sexton was positioned as well. So yeah. Sexton was going to be out of position.
It's one of those tricky plays where it feels like Sexton had a beat on it, but it's generally speaking, if the right fielder feels like it's his ball, right? It's his play to make as Cooper fouls off the first pitch. Brayden Cooper, the right fielder's first at bat of the day. It's kind of just a tricky play. You kind of feel like both guys have a beat on it, but if the right fielder calls it, it's his call to make. And Boston Holland came in and made it. Ground ball back off the glove of Avery. He'll race back behind the mound, throw it back to first, got him. Good job by Avery sticking with it after that ground ball went off the mitt. Was hit hard enough that even despite that deflection, Cooper still had barely left the box yet when Avery was able to race after it, scoop it, throw to first, make the play. So 2 quick outs here to start the 8th. Brings up Cade Phillips, the catcher. Batting 9th. It's an 8-up, 8-down start for Mason Avery. First pitch in the dirt, 1-0. MacArthur has been able to put the ball in play after the first 5 batters struck out. The last 3 have all put it in play, but haven't yet found their first hit against Avery. 1-0 outside, 2-0.
This is the first time we've seen Cade Phillips at the plate today. He did not play in the previous game. Brady McDonald, who is pitching, was the catcher in the first game today.
Things get shuffled around. 2-0, cut on and missed. The player missing, if you will, from the first line was Josiah Alford. He was in right field, batting ninth. Had a pretty good game at the plate. He was on base twice.
Well, I can tell you, Coach DeLong, a lot Mac is very high on Cade Phillips. He's only a freshman. Thinks he'll be a really good pitcher as well as a catcher in the future. We'll get him to state one day, is what he's told me.
I don't feel like you see a lot of pitcher catchers.
Well, Mason Avery's one.
I guess that's very,
but you haven't seen him catch yet.
I never see him catch. Yeah, he's always pitching. When I've seen Mason Avery pitch several times this season already now. 2-2 with Phillips. Line drive. Well, it's more of a jam shot. It's hit so slow, though, that there was no chance for anyone to make a play. And it's going to be an infield single for Cade Phillips. It kind of fooled me off the bat. I thought it had a little more zip from our vantage point here at the Bill Tipton Field press box. But ended up kind of almost having backspin on it. It just didn't go anywhere. And Murphy tried to barehand it, but I think even if he came with that clean, Phillips was going to beat it. So that's a 2-out single from Cade Phillips. He will have a courtesy run number 21. If you want to check that for me,
number
Jordan.
21 is Josiah Alford.
Oh, there's Alford. Okay,
yeah.
Alford, who played right field the first game, so right on cue. He'll do the running for Phillips, who
I think Loudon McCarthy needs to get something going. They need to try to steal first or second here.
No, they don't have to.
Don't have to really try very hard.
Ball gets away, and Alford moves up to second. I agree with the sentiment, though. I mean, especially with the top of the order coming up. In worst-case scenario, you have your top of the order the next inning.
Now you give DeLong an RB opportunity, but if he had gotten thrown out, now you have the top of the order for Lawton Mack.
Exactly.
Do up next inning.
But the ball got away, so it's all kind of a moot point. And Bo DeLong now does have an opportunity with a man in scoring position. DeLong struck out swinging his first time. Avery checks the runner back, diving in at second. It's a big opportunity for MacArthur here. I know it's only one run, you're down by 4, but just to kind of get some positive vibes into your dugout. If DeLong could pick up a base hit and not get a run here. 1-0, big swing and a miss. He was way out in front of that. 1-1.
It's interesting that Avery was looking back the runner at second, because you would not think he would try to take third. But who knows?
We did have a pick off a second in our last game, which, again, kind of to your point also, I don't see a lot. Ground ball to the left side. Declan Murphy picks up, fire across the diamond. It's wide of the mark. Hawkins did a great job getting off the bag to pull that in and save it, because if it goes wide, or it gets away from him, I should say, Alford's going to score. That's a good play by Hawkins to save an error. It's an infield single for Bo DeLong, and there are now 2 men on for Thatcher Zeller.
Well, I told Tracy this during the first game. Jordan Hawkins, every time we've seen Carl Albert, he catches everything thrown at him. I haven't seen the ball get past him yet under any circumstances.
Well, that was just a smart IQ play, too. Sometimes you see first baseman try to reach for that in that spot, you weren't going to get the runner anyway. So to get off the bag, catch it clean, make sure it doesn't get by you, that was the smart play. So a good play by Hawkins, not something that's going to show up in any sort of stats, any sort of box score, that cliche, but a good play. Saves a run for now. As Thatcher Zeller, who struck out looking his first time, is ahead 1-0 with 2 men on here in the third. Big opportunity for Mac to get some energy and momentum back on their side. It's now 2-0.
I'm not sure why you wouldn't send Bo, but then again, if you want to wait and see what happens as Mason's behind the count here.
Yeah, there's almost no chance that Carl Albert would even try to throw down, if I had to guess. Not going here either. 2-0. Misses high. 3-0. Now you wonder, would they give Zeller the green light to take a swing if he likes it, or is it just you're automatically taking here? Avery has not walked anybody yet. See what they do here on 3-0. Shows bunt. He pulled it back. Surely he was never actually going to bunt there. That would have been unbelievable. But it is ball 4. And lo and behold, how quickly things can happen. The bases are loaded. and the Highlanders are going to have the tying run at the plate in Gage McNeil.
2 outs on the board.
And it's Whiteley, Coach Whiteley coming out, not the pitching coach for Carl Albert.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean it's not mostly about the pitcher, but with 2 outs, you definitely would want to talk to your infielders about this situation if there was less than 2 outs. But even with 2 outs, you might give the infield some instruction.
So 2 outs and nobody on base. Cade Phillips, an infield single. Bo DeLong, an infield single. And now Thatcher Zeller draws a walk. And just like that, the bases are loaded with 2 outs for Gage McNeil. The 3-hole hitter for the Highlanders as the tying run. I mean, obviously looking for a lot to say put one over the fence. You're just looking for a base hit here. But
well, Lott and MacArthur had their own conference, but that did not include the runner at first. It included everyone else involved, the hitter, McNeil, and then the runner at second and third.
The on-deck hitter, too. Spencer
That's
Thurman.
right, yeah.
So here we go. Gage McNeil struck out swinging his first time. A huge spot in this game here in the bottom of the third. Base hit probably gets you 2. Ball in the gap gets you 3. Swing and a miss on strike 1. McNeil, who, like we said, had some really nice at-bats in the first game against Guyman, did not look comfortable at all against Avery in his first time up. Not a great swing there either. Cuts on and misses again. 0-2. McNeil is just, it only takes 1, but so far is just not seeing the ball out of Mason Avery's hand. And he's got him behind 0-2. Does he try to get him to chase? You got to be careful not to throw one away with the man at third. 0-2 pitch coming from Avery. That's well outside. Hit the target, but didn't get him to chase. Count goes to 1-2. Massive spot in this game, and obviously these two teams' seasons right now here in this regional winners bracket game. 1-2 coming from Avery to Gage McNeil. Blyce, it's floated out into the left. Back on it is Webster, and he's got it. Pretty good swing by McNeil, but pretty much right at Jackson Webster. Barely had to move, and he makes the play on it in left. And Christ is averted for Mason Avery despite 3 consecutive 2-out base runners. He doesn't get hurt. And at the end of 3, it's Carl Albert 4, Lawton Mac 0. You're watching high school baseball regional action on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
call Rob and Will.
Whataburger, bring back our mushroom Swiss burger. I heard corporate said it's never gonna happen.
Corporate here. We had the bandwidth to circle back on this action item, and
we're aligned. Bringing you grilled mushrooms, melty cheese, and creamy au jus sauce. If synergy like that isn't cool, then we don't know what is. The mushroom Swiss burger is back.
We're bringing back the hits.
What a burger!
Back at Bill Tipton Field, Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray on hand, along with Tracy Mussett as well. We head to the 4th inning here in Midwest City, campus of Carl Albert High School. The Titans leading Lawton MacArthur 4-0 as we head to the top of the 4th. Winners bracket game in regional action. Top inning brought to you by Confidence Chevrolet Buick GMC. From oil changes to major repairs, we service all makes and models. Visit today at Confidence Chevrolet Buick GMC, exit Huderberg, 6100 Tinker Diagonal in Midwest City. Confidence is Cavender. First pitch inside on Jackson Webster. Almost got him. Almost impossible that it didn't. It was so close.
Looked like Jackson was telling the ump that he got hit.
All he's got to do is hit some jersey, but doesn't get the benefit of it. So Webster get back in the box. Webster drew a walk his first time, later scored. He started that 2-out rally in the second. He drives this one out into right center. Diving effort. It'll get down. Webster takes a wide turn, but he'll stop at first base. And it's a leadoff single for Jackson Webster. Boy, we've seen Spencer Thurman make some nice plays out in center, and he made a heck of an effort on that one, but just not quite able to pull it in. And it's a leadoff single for Webster.
He's given teams problems with him getting on base. Jackson Webster has, and he's done it consistently today.
Boy,
Webster is 3 for 4 today. The one out was a sacrifice bunt, and he has a walk. That is phenomenal.
I love Webster Sexton 8-9. It's really nice at the bottom before you flip it back over. I mean, this 1 through 9, everyone the Titans can hit, but these guys are getting on base a lot right now. Might have got picked off. It was close, boy. That was a heck of a move by McDonald. I know Phillips at first base thought he got him, but Webster able to dive back in. So here comes Lane Sexton, like we said. He singled his first time. These are the guys who started that rally in the second, excuse me. It was 2 outs, nobody on. The Webster, Sexton both got on. They both ended up scoring. Boston Holland did as well, and what was a 3-run inning. Check the runner again. Oh, again, he got him leaning the wrong way. Both those were very close. Certainly would suggest to me that Jax Webster is looking to run if given the opportunity, because he's been caught leaning a couple times. But gotten away with it. He will go here. Sexton shows bunt and holds up. The ball's in the dirt. Webster steals the bag. So even though they picked off on him twice, Webster not deterred. Still went first pitch. That's confidence.
We'll see if they keep looking his way.
Made a scoring position for Lane Sexton with nobody out here in the fourth. McDonald throws. Sexton shows bunt again. I got the strike call on that. 1-1. Be another doubleheader tomorrow on OSN. 4 o'clock start. Loser here against the winner of the next game, Diamond Southeast, and the nightcap, 6:30 start. Sends potentially someone to the state tournament as that ball misses 2-1. Obviously an all OSN affair here between Lawton Mack and Carl Albert.
First baseman playing in here.
Phillips way in at first after Sexton showing bunt a couple of times. Phillips crashing in. Sexton drops the bunt to the third base side. McDonald has to go after it, and his feet slide out from under him. That was going to be a really tough play anyway. I'd be tempted to still give Sexton a hit for that, frankly. That was going to be a tough play as Sexton a perfect bunt. Webster was going right away. He's into third, and his runner's on the corners with nobody out, and Carl Albert threatening to do some major damage here with the top of the order coming up. I'm not the official scorer, and we don't have a functioning scoreboard here built into the field right now, so I'm going in my official scorebook. That's a hit.
I wrote a hit down. I just don't see any way that he could have fielded that ball and thrown him out.
At the very least, it was going to be really close.
And again, the 8-9 hitters for Carl Albert. They are setting the tables here.
Boston Holland showing bunt. They'll check Sexton back in at first base. So Carl Albert in position to try and go really push this lead out. You got runners on the corners with nobody out for the top of the order. Boston Holland's off to a great start to his second game of the day. 2 for 2 with a single and a double, a 2-run double at that, back in the second. He's going to drop a bunt here off the first base side foul. Bobby Lewis foul ball.
Boston Holland's batted in the ninth hole before, too, but you expect all these hitters, especially, they don't have a lot of power hitters, this Carl Albert, so it seems like almost every one of them has that bunting ability, and they'll bunt at any spot in the batting order.
Yeah, the times I've done Carl Albert this season, it's been Jordan Hawkins up there typically in that leadoff spot. Batting second today. Runner goes to Sexton, and Holland bunts it foul again. So now here we go with that question you kind of posed earlier. 2 strikes. Boston Holland has shown bunt twice. Does he still try to bunt, or you pull it back? Typically, you almost never see guys try to bunt with 2 strikes. But
No, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sexton takes off.
And Holland's going to get some direction from Coach Whiteley over at third base. How he wants him to play this. 2 men on, nobody out here in the top of the fourth. Carl Albert leading Lawton MacArthur 4-0 on the Oklahoma Sports Network. It's been a full day of baseball here at Bill Tipton Field. Carl Albert trying to do the job. Give them one win of the state tournament if they can knock off Lawton Mac here this evening. We'll check the runner at first, diving back in at Sexton. Ready to go. 0-2 again. That ball's popped foul off the first base side, almost straight back. So Holland able to stay alive. Bobby Lewis Insurance foul ball. McDonald very interested in Sexton over at first base. They'll try the 0-2 again. Holland. Inside.
I hit him.
Oh, they're going to say it got a piece of Holland.
Well.
Oh, no, they're going to say no. Home plate umpires tell them to come back.
That was strange. Because
that was strange. Everyone seemed to think that he wasn't hit except for Boston Holland.
I've never seen that before. And Lane Sexton never moved to second.
No, nobody did. McDonald on the mound, and then certainly Phillips behind the plate both seemed surprised. But the way Holland reacted, it made it seem like he got the go-ahead because it was kind of a look at home plate umpire. That was kind of a strange-looking play. Just goes in the books as a ball, 1-2. So we'll try it again, 1-2 here to Holland. Runners on the corners, nobody out here in the top of the fourth. Runner does go to Sexton. Pitch misses high, and Sexton steals the bag without a throw.
Yeah, it's like Phillips he learned from his last mistake. He didn't want to try it there.
Yeah.
He got burned last time in this situation.
It's only been 5 pitches to Holland so far, but it feels like he's been at the plate for a long time.
I think that's fair.
He had a timeout, right, and then tried to take first.
2-2 misses outside, and the count is now full. So Holland has battled all the way back from being behind 0-2 to filling up the count. With runners on second and third, there is a base open technically, but do you really want to load the bases for Jordan Hawkins with nobody out? I don't think so. So we'll see how MacArthur wants to play this. Infield is coming in, so they're all in here trying to cut down that runner at third, Jackson Webster. See what happens here. 3-2, big pitch in this game. McDonald inside. Holland walks. So Boston Holland's been on base all 3 times, and the bases are now loaded with nobody out for Jordan Hawkins. And I think this is what you would call a precarious spot for Braden McDonald.
No action in the Highlander bullpen again, but they may be thinking about it. Pitchers in the field right now.
Bases loaded, nobody out for Jordan Hawkins. He takes ball 1. Hawkins grounded out to first in the first inning. Drew a walk in the second inning. So he's been on base once, getting his 3rd look here at McDonald. And he's a big swing away from really breaking this game open. Already leading 4-0. They could make this out to 6, 7, or obviously 8 if he puts it over the fence. Breaking ball dropped in for a strike. 1-1. Nice pitch there by McDonald. Hawkins, a switch hitting first baseman, such a key element of this Titans team. Like I noted earlier, batted leadoff quite a bit this year, batting second today. He'll take one low, 2-1. These Titan hitters generally are not really chasing much. Only one strikeout to this point. Have drawn 3 walks. And now Hawkins ahead 3-1, and this is just a nightmare spot to be in as a pitcher. Bases loaded, 3-1 count on Jordan Hawkins. You almost have to lay one in here and just kind of live with it. See what happens. 3-1 pitch. Big swing from Hawkins. He might have underneath it. This one's blasted pretty well, though, out to deep left center. Getting back on it and pulling it in is Thurman. The runners will all advance. It's a sac fly for Hawkins, who really gave that one a ride out to deep left center. But he'll have to settle for a sac fly. Makes it 5-0 Titans. And they still have got 2 men on with 1 out. Boy, off the bat, it seemed really high, so it was going to be tough to get it out, but that thing just kept carrying. Hawkins took a big swing on it. And it's a sac fly, makes it 5-zip CA, and here comes Nate Delaplank with runners on second and third, 1 gone. Delaplank today 0 for 1 with a sac fly and a fly out to center. He'll take strike 1. Could go for a second sac fly of the day if he could put one out there again.
There was almost disaster on that last play out in center field after Thurman made that catch and threw the ball into his cutoff man. As he was releasing the ball, his feet slipped out from under him and he face planted out there. The ball went into the ground.
I looked at my sheet. Yeah, I saw the ball kind of rolling in and wondered what happened because we know Thurman's got an arm. We saw it. Obviously, he was way out there in deep left center out near the fence, but obviously been raining a lot the last few days. It might still be a little slick. We saw just a little bit ago McDonald slip here right around the, in between third base and the mound. 1-1. Delaplank laced that one into center. A clean single for Delaplank. 1 run will score easily. The second runner racing around his Boston Holland dives in at the plate and he's in. It's a 2-run single for Boston Holland. Take a look at that on the Triple Elite screen printing instant replay. A pretty slide into home from Holland. A lot of dirt kicking up. It's a 2-run knock for Nate Delaplank. He moved to second on the throw. Second and third RBIs of the day for the Carl Albert DH. And the Titans have just busted this thing wide open. It's now 7-zip on top of the Highlanders. Bo Davis now up trying to keep it rolling. Titans have already played at 3 and looking for more here in the 4th. Davis 1 for 2 with a single. He'll take up high 1-0. That ball from Nate Delaplank was laced right up the middle. 1-0 coming from McDonald to Bo Davis. Titans already with a touchdown on the board, looking for more. Ball in the dirt, 2-0.
Delaplank, he's a senior. He didn't play last year. He was behind, obviously, a very deep senior class for Carl Albert last year, but
yeah,
he has shown he's the type of guy you want in the middle of the batting order. He can hit for power and hit consistently, as I believe this is Coach DeLong of Lawton Mack.
And might be getting a pitching change here with a 2-0 count. And a man on second base. We'll see if that's indeed the case. Been a 3-run inning for Carl Albert already and looking for more. As they lead at 7-0 after run ruling Southeast this morning. Titans laying some more on as they lead at 7-0 here in the 4th inning over Lawton Mack. It's a 2-0 count on Bo Davis here. It's one of those things you see in high school and you see in college too, but you never see in the pros. This is big is a pitching change mid at bat. Just never happens. But you get it in high school and college. Semi-often.
Kind of taking his time there. I'm surprised one of the umps is not going over there
and
to
right
be like,
cue.
hey.
I think we're getting that now.
Yeah.
You don't see meetings this long. I assume we're getting a pitching change.
We are getting a pitching change.
Well, he took all the time he could until the umpire started coming out before he even took the ball from McDonald.
And there is activity in the Mack bullpen.
Looks like it'll be number 2 coming in, Jordan, if you want to double-check that.
Number 2, that's Dirk Couch.
Dirk Couch, what a name. Junior pitcher Looks like he's strolling out to the mound. That'll be it for McDonald. We'll step aside while Couch gets out there and starts to get loose. As Carl Albert leading Lawton Mac 7-0 here in the top of the fourth. High school baseball regional action on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
When you're on the road, there's a lot of late nights. A lot of early mornings.
Not supposed to say that.
A lot of honey butter chicken biscuits. You hear my belly growling?
Yep. I'm going to need one of those right now.
And a lot of good times with my band.
What a burger.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
All right, back at Bill Tipton Field. Like we mentioned right before the break, their new pitcher for Lawton Mac is Dirk Couch, number 2. He's a junior right-hander out there taking his warm-up tosses.
Watching him take his warm-up tosses, he threw a lot of breaking balls during warm-up. So
he'll try and just kind of get things back on the tracks here for Mac. As Brady McDonald did some good things early, but kind of falling behind guys a little too much these last couple of innings. And got Carl Albert in some hitters counts, and these Titans guys, the hitters are too good. You fall behind 3-1, you're going to be in a tough spot. And Carl Albert able to get 3 runs on the board here in the fourth already, and threatening for more. So Couch will try and limit the damage. Bo Davis at the plate in a 2-0 count with a man at second base in Nate Delaplank, who roped a 2-run single a few moments ago, as we have a quick meeting on the mound before a pitch was thrown.
Bombers head top of the 6th, 4-2 lead over Booker T. Del City should be having a game later tonight, as they lost to Elgin their first game.
Booker T, who you saw win a basketball title.
That's right.
A couple months ago.
Not as much known as a baseball power, but they're about even with Iowa City this year. They won by 1 run yesterday against them.
First pitch from Couch is in there for a strike on the inside edge to Bo Davis.
Of course, Booker T suffered some loss of a student and some grief within their school system last week.
I saw that.
A car accident.
1-2. All right, program, like we said, fresh off a state championship a couple of months ago, which we had on OSN. Jordan had to call that. Played at Lawton High.
Well, they did not miss.
That was a really good team. They were just the best team. So simply, I mean, it goes without saying you win a state title, but it was just kind of clear. Man, they're just the best team in 5A this year. This is high, so Davis works a walk. So 2 men on now for Devontae Jones. And if you're, it's a little early to be doing this kind of thing, but just worth noting that Devontae Jones, he's your 10th run, theoretically. Obviously, 10 for 5 is the run rule. So Titans are kind of, semi-threatening to get there right now here in the fourth. It's after 5, though. what they did to Southeast this morning. First and second, one away for Devontae Jones. Jones is 0 for 2 today with a couple of ground outs. Jones tries to drop a bunt, but just pushed it foul. Dirk Couch, a very big leg kick. Kind of like it. It almost reminds me of like an old-timey pitcher's windup you'd see in like black and white video type of a delivery.
Jones has been at this is his 6th trip to the plate today. He does not have a hit, but he has scored 2 runs.
I know he's been hit by a pitch against Southeast, I believe.
Step off. Well, Couch. Check the runners. Look over at his dugout as well.
We don't see any infielders coming in.
Well, the runners on the corners are kind of halfway in. Couch taking a long set here. Jones showing bunt again. Couch throws one in the dirt. Runner takes off for third. Stolen base for Delaplank.
It's always interesting when the lead runner takes off, but not the runner at first.
Generally, you think it'd be automatic. You know, your guy in front of you goes, you follow him. So runners on the corners now with one away for Devontae Jones. Looking for a big swing. Try to push this Titans lead out. Already leading by a touchdown at 7-0 over Lawton Mack. Winner moves to 6:30 tomorrow night with a chance to punch their ticket to the state tournament. Loser will have to go the hard way, starting at 4 o'clock tomorrow. Runner first now goes. Jones will drop a bunt on the right side. Racing the right, he's going to be tagged out. Runner now rounding second and going to third, and reaching is Bo Davis. So some aggressive base running there by Davis. Delaplank, meanwhile, scores on the bunt from Jones. Makes it 8-0. And like we said, Bo Davis aggressive, rounding second, getting all the way to third on that. So 2 outs brings up Declan Murphy. Murphy 1 for 2 with a single. Titans leading at 8-0 now over Lawton MacArthur. Murphy pops up the first pitch, foul back behind, all the way back behind us in the press box at Bill Tipton Field.
You know, it's interesting. Lawton MacArthur, you know, they did finish third in their district, but when they took on the better teams, they have a hard time scoring runs. And I think that can have a definitely psychological effect. They played a combined 4 games against Duncan and Elgin and did not score a single run in either game.
The ball's low and away. Ooh, Bo Davis thought about booking it for home, but didn't stray enough far away to the ball from Phillips behind the dish. One and 2 the count on Declan Murphy. Like we said, we might see tomorrow. Nothing set in stone there on the mound. Popped up again. This is going to get back behind the plate. Should be playable. Look alive.
Blank.
That one, that threatens some folks back here behind the dish. You got to look alive back here. So we have another plane going right over us here at Bill Tipton Field. That one looks like it just took off. One-two pitch again here to Murphy. Misses high, 2-2.
A lot of flight activity out of the base today.
A lot.
Yeah.
It's been kind of all day. I was on the phone in between games. I had to just kind of say to someone, hold on, give me a second. We got a plane go right above us.
Might be getting ready for that military parade in Washington, D.C. I don't know.
2-2 on Declan Murphy. Man at third base with 2 outs here in the top half of the 4th. That one misses high and away again. So a couple of these have not been particularly close on Murphy.
Well, that almost looked like an intentional ball, though there's no reason in the world why there would have been
Not
one.
really. Yeah, you would think. Full count. Murphy cuts on and misses, swung underneath that one. Probably high for ball 4, would have been close, but Murphy swings underneath it, and that'll end the inning. But not before the Titans score 4 and balloon this lead out to 8. 3.5 innings of play in the books. Carl Albert leading Lawton MacArthur 8-0. You're watching high school baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Back at Bill Tipton Field, Josh Calloway on hand with you, and Carl Albert High School, Jordan Ray alongside as well. Tracy Mussett here with us also. Carl Albert leading Lawton Mac 8-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Titans certainly in control here in this winner's bracket game in the Carl Albert Regional. A win here, and the Titans would be within a win, one more win, of reaching the 5A state tournament for, what'd you say, Jordan, 10th year in a row if they reach again?
Well, I can't say 10th because of COVID.
10th straight possible time?
I would say I believe it is 2017 to 2025. That's take out 2020. I think it's 8.
Gotcha. Been a long time, put it that way.
I'll have to double check that.
2-time defending champs, also won in 2021, so 3 out of 4 coming into this season. Certainly figured to be right in the mix again. Line drive right back to Avery, goes off his glove, racing to first and getting there for a leadoff single is Spencer Thurman. Avery almost snagged that out of the air, but it went right off the edge of the glove, and then it kind of just rolled off into no man's land. So Spencer Thurman leads off the bottom of the 4th with a single. The Highlanders have got 3 hits, and they're all infield singles. So leadoff man on for Leland Kowina. Third baseman struck out looking his first time. Pickoff attempt back at first. Oh, that's a nice scoop by Hawkins. Saved an error.
Like I said, nothing gets by him.
Yeah, that was. He made that look real smooth, considering that was a tough hop. 1-0 on Kowina. Mason Avery pitching obviously a good game so far. 3 innings of shutout baseball. Behind 2-0 here though on Kowina. However, Avery struck out the first 5 batters of this game. Has not gotten a strikeout since then. There's been some much better looking swings for Mac, although it hasn't converted anything on the scoreboard yet. 2-0 is popped up. Should be playable back behind the plate. Racing in and pulling in is the third baseman, Bo Davis, in foul ground for the first out. So 1 gone for Lou Phillips, first baseman. Flew out to center his first time. Was a starting pitcher in Mac's 7-1 win over Guyman earlier today, which you saw on the Oklahoma Sports Network. 7 innings, 1 run on the hill for Phillips. He also had a hit in that game as well. Was on base 3 times. So he had a nice game all around against Guyman earlier. He's in the box here with a man on first and 1 gone against Mason Avery. Spencer Thurman led off the frame of the single. Leland Kowina popping out there for the first out. And Phillips ahead 1-0 as that ball misses low and away. Avery sets and fires. The 1-0 is driven out to center field. Devontae Jones racing back on it. He's got a play, and he makes it. Devontae Jones, a very good center fielder. He was all over that one. Phillips got pretty good contact on that, but wrong part of the yard. A lot of room out there, and Jones able to make the play.
One of the few experienced players on this Midwest City team who played in the state tournament last year. Devontae Jones along with Declan Murphy, and then the guy pitching who pitched Game 2 of the state tournament against Collinsville.
Over at Edmond Santa Fe.
And pitched really well.
So 2 outs, a man on first brings up Gunnar Tate. He takes strike 1. The Highlanders DH flew out to right his first time. That play where Boston Holland came barreling in to make the catch. It's behind 0-1 on Avery here. Line drive up the middle. That's a base knock. Runner will move up to second. A clean single up the middle for Tate. And MacArthur putting up a little bit of a fight here with 2 men on and 2 outs here in the 4th.
Well, they did have the bases loaded a couple innings ago.
Yeah.
That was all with 2 outs, so
now
we're with 2 outs again.
So here comes Braden Cooper. Cooper grounded out back to Avery in his first time up. He's got a big opportunity here to at least get something going for MacArthur. Take Sloan away 1-0. It's baseball. There's no clock. Get a couple of big hits, at least get some, get yourself kind of more comfortably inside that run rule number. You're not there right now, but you're close to it, so you can at least buy yourself some time if you could get a couple runs on the board here. Ball's punched to the left side. Declan Murphy not able to make the catch. It's in his shallow left. They'll have to hold the runner there. That's a smart move. He probably would have been out by quite a bit. Jackson Webster was in on that quickly. But it's a single for Braden Cooper as he just got it past the outstretched glove of Declan Murphy at shortstop. And the bases are now loaded with 2 outs for the 9-hole hitter, Cade Phillips, the catcher. Phillips reached on an infield single his first time.
Every batter has put the ball into play for MacArthur in this inning, and 4 of the 5 put it in play on the second pitch, whatever that means.
It's a trend. Take one, swing at the next one. Base load for Cade Phillips. Late swing and a miss, 0-1. Honestly, it's an 8-0 game, but a big swing here. Ball in the gap, we'll say, get 3 runs. It feels like you're kind of back in it if you're Mac. It's a big spot here.
Well, you just want something to give you confidence for tomorrow, whatever,
at the very least,
whatever happens.
Yeah, at the very least, if you're going to get through this, you're going to have to beat Carl Albert again, or 2 times. That one right on the block, 0-2. What a pitch from Avery there. And now Cade Phillips is in a tough spot. 0-2, and Mason Avery can go just about anywhere he wants. Here on 0-2.
Boy, he throws strikes once the bases are loaded.
0-2 pitch coming from Mason Avery to the 9-hole hitting catcher, Cade Phillips. Swung on and missed. Got him with the high cheese right underneath it. And when the bases were loaded, Avery went 1, 2, and then right here, 3 to strike out Phillips. Triple lead screen printing instant replay on that Patrick Newby Farmers Insurance strikeout to end the 4th. At the end of 4, it's 8-0 Carl Albert leading Lawton MacArthur. You're watching high school baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
call Rob and Will.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial?
This isn't just any burger run. This is a burger run for Whataburger Sweet and Spicy Bacon Burger. 2 fresh all-beef patties with melty cheese, grilled onions, crispy bacon, and sweet and spicy pepper sauce. 1 for you, 1 for him, and 1 for your unofficial roommate, Brad. Always order an extra. For Brad. the all-time favorite sweet and spicy bacon burger from Whataburger. Just like you like it.
Back at Bill Tipton Field, Midwest City, on campus of Carl Albert High School. Josh Galloway on hand, Jordan Ray and Tracy Mussett alongside me as well. As we head to the 5th inning, Carl Albert leading Lawton Mac 8-0. This winners bracket regional game in the 5A baseball postseason. Winner here moving to within a win of the state tournament. They'll be sitting at 2-0 going into tomorrow. Carl Albert certainly in command right now. If they can get 2 more runs here in the top of the 5th, they would have a chance to go for the run rule in the bottom half, which always helps. Save innings on your arms always makes a difference as you go along through this thing. So we'll see what they can do here in the 5th. First pitch misses to the catcher, Jason Purcell. 7-8-9 do it for the Titans in the 5th. Purcell 0 for 2 with a pair of ground outs so far today. Dirk Couch still on the mound for the Highlanders. He gets a strike in there, 1-1. Titans are the road team, by the way. I know I mentioned that a couple of times, but anyone tuning in a little late, the road team here on their home field, so it is the top of the 5th. Ground ball to shortstop, fielded on a funny hop by Zeller. Fire. Oh no, he didn't handle it. I was looking over for the throw and it never came. Zeller
lost
he
went for the transfer to his throwing hand. He just lost the ball.
Probably an E6. Yes, I didn't, without having seen it. Sounds like.
By the way, Midwest City now trails 5-4. They've given up the lead. They have 1 inning to take care of things. They need to limit the damage. Bottom of the 6th inning, they got the top of the 7th to try to keep their season alive.
That's an elimination game out there for that Mid-Del squad. What's Del City up to?
They lost to Elgin. I don't know who the other team is. They play the team that El Reno beat. I think El Reno beat Santa Fe South. I think it might be Santa Fe South. So winnable game. That'll be later this evening as Jackson Webster gets hit.
Yeah, right in on him. Got plunked right on the upper part of the arm, on the bicep, shoulder area. So quickly 2 men on for Lane Sexton.
Once again, the bottom of the lineup for Carl Albert, just productive all the way around.
Yeah, living on base here. Jackson Webster and Lane Sexton, particularly the 8-9, have been on base all 5 times so far. See if Sexton can keep that going here. Runners on first and second, nobody out in the top of the 5th. Carl Albert already leading by 8. Looking for more in this winner's bracket game in the 5A regionals. Carl Albert run ruling Southeast this morning as Sexton shows bunt, takes high, and it goes away from Phillips. Runners will move up. So now you got second and third, nobody out. Carl Albert run ruling Southeast this morning. MacArthur 7-1 win over Guyman in Game 2. Those two losers of the games earlier will face off tonight in the nightcap, Game 4 of the day here at Bill Tipton Field with Southeast and Guyman. That's set for a 6:30 first pitch. It will not be at 6:30. 6 o'clock right now. 1-0 count on Sexton. Runners on second and third. Nobody out here in the 5th. Sexton rips this one into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. 1 run will score easily. Webster racing around third. Look at him fly. He scores no problem. Sexton will move up to second as the throw gets away at short. It's a 2-run single for Sexton, and the Titans are up to a cool 10 on top of Lawton Mac.
Score another error on MacArthur. Sexton got the single, and then as the throw came in from the outfield, the shortstop just did not handle the throw and let it get away from him.
Yeah, that allowed Sexton to move to second. Runs obviously would have scored anyway. Webster was flying. It's a 2-run knock for Sexton. He's having a marvelous day. 3 for 3 now. And he gets the 2 RBIs there.
It's got to be demoralizing for Lawton MacArthur that they can't get the 8 or 9 hitter out.
We'll see what happens with Sexton at second base as Holland shows bunts it foul. But Sexton right now is 3 for 3, 3 singles, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs. He's also scored both times, and obviously he's out there at second base right now. with nobody out. Been a heck of a day. Kind of filling up every column right now. This guy is also filling up every column, Boston Holland. He is 2 for 2 with a walk, a single, and a double. So he's been on base all 3 times. He's trying to make it 4.
Layton Sexton in the 2 games today has been on base all 6 at-bats.
Not bad. Not bad from your 9-hole.
Got a good jump there.
He'll steal third for good measure. Make sure he gets that stat. That's his 2nd steal of the day. This is past the run rule threshold also, by the way. So assuming Carl Albert doesn't score any more, if MacArthur doesn't score in the bottom half, that's when the game would end. This one misses high, gets off the glove of Phillips. Sexton's going to take off. Boy, he read that all the way, and he scores from third. I mean, he got just an unreal jump on that. And so Sexton has officially now reached all 3 times on 3 singles and scored all 3 times. Just a huge day for the 9-hole hitting second baseman, Lane Sexton. It's 11-0 Titans. This one misses outside from Couch to Boston Holland.
You know, I was talking to Tracy about this, but Carl Albert came into this regional today in a bit of a slump. They lost 5 out of 7. You saw one of them against Edmond Memorial. But they were playing such good teams. And Noble.
Yeah.
See a foul ball there. Also Piedmont. You know, they were a 5A power. Now they're in 6A.
Mm-hmm.
And the team from Kansas, you know, so Elgin, of course. So many good teams. And I think it's done them well. And now they've come here really ready to play, and they've been impressive this game.
Now it gets away, so it's a walk for Holland. He'll zoom down to first. Holland's been on base all 4 times today now in the second walk. Yeah, it's kind of strange. I mean, Carl Albert, not that 26-9 isn't a good record, because it obviously is a fantastic record, but that's kind of a lot in the loss column, more than we're used to.
Well, remember last year, I think they lost a game. It was to Duncan or maybe one of the team that in early April and did not lose again.
Mm-hmm.
That was early April. So they went over a month without losing.
This is just their time here. This is their time of year.
This team is probably one of the more least experienced teams they've had as far as playoff experience. But so far, you know, and we'll see what they do if they get to state indeed, like, you know, you kind of expect. But we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Sure.
But, you know, what happens if the competition gets a little tougher. But for right now, this has been a very complete game for them.
Yeah, hard to complain. You know, you guys did the game this morning, but I was, tapped in. It was a little bit of a slow start this morning. You kind of expect them when they're playing a team that's had a kind of a tough year like Southeast to just, the Carl Albert's so good to just go put up a huge number right away. And it was a little slow. They ended up getting the run roll, but this has been a pretty thorough display here this evening against Lawton Mac. This has been what you could hope for. Mason Avery's looked great. They played good defense. And the lineup 1 through 9 has been pretty spectacular. 2-0 or 3-0 now, actually, the count on Jordan Hawkins. Hawkins doesn't have a hit today, but he's been productive. He's walked, stole a base, got a sac fly.
Well, you have to remember, you say not hit today. He does have a hit today, just not in this game.
Excuse me, in this game.
Yeah. Bases loaded double. Gets him reaching third, so. But, yeah, he'll battle, and he'll usually get on base.
That one dropped in there for a strike. After Hawkins, Nate Delaplank waiting. He had that 2-run single back in the 4th. Runner goes. Hawkins pops it up. It'll get out of play. Bobby Lewis foul ball.
And the season has ended for Midwest City. It's disappointing that they're the 2nd highest seed in their regional over at Pryor, and they will not get to the championship round as they lose 2 one-run games to Booker T.
So the Bombers eliminated.
They'll bring back some good juniors next year assuming they come back.
That was ball 4. Holland was going, but he advanced on the walk. So Hawkins has his 2nd walk of the game. And there's 2 men on for Nate Delaplank. I'll get another pitching change here for Mack. Just trying to get other guys some work, stop the bleeding a little bit here. Obviously in a big hole, 11-0. So that's it for Couch. We're going to have a pitching change. We'll step aside, and we'll tell you about the new pitcher when we get back. Carl Albert in command, leading Lawton MacArthur 11-0. You're watching high school baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
call Rob and Will.
This isn't just any burger run. This is a burger run for Whataburger Sweet and Spicy Bacon Burger. 2 fresh all-beef patties with melty cheese, grilled onions, crispy bacon, and sweet and spicy pepper sauce. 1 for you, 1 for him, and 1 for your unofficial roommate, Brad. Always order an extra. You know, for Brad. The all-time favorite sweet and spicy bacon burger from Whataburger. Just like you like it.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
When you're on the road, there's a lot of late nights. A lot of early mornings.
Not supposed to say that.
A lot of honey butter chicken biscuits.
You hear my belly growling? Yep. I'm going to need one of those right now.
And a lot of good times with my band.
What a burger!
All right, back at Bill Tipton Field. Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray, Tracy Mussick. Carl Albert in command over Lawton Mack. They lead at 11-0. New pitcher for the Highlanders. Showing a bunt here is Delaplank. Get this pitch. We'll tell you about the new pitcher. Delaplank takes a bunt. Number 16 for Lawton MacArthur, which...
That would be Tanner Bordelin.
Sophomore right-hander, Bordelin. Third pitcher of the day for Mack. You figure if you're, Coach DeLong, you're probably just saying, hey, man, go throw some strikes. We're down 11-0. Delaplank rips this out to center. Good clean contact, but back on it to make the catch is Thurman. Long throw into third. Boy, he's got a cannon of an arm.
He does.
Able to get in there. That play had no business even being close, though. That was a heck of a throw. But Holland does advance to third. Delaplank flies out to center. First out, brings up Bo Davis. Bo Davis today, 1 for 2. Single and a walk. Also lined out, hit a laser to third that was snagged by Kawina. So Bo Davis has had some good at-bats today, as has many of this Titans lineup.
Only a sophomore.
He's a good player. Here's some action in the Titans bullpen. Actually, I semi-take that back. There is action, but it's just Mason Avery. He's just staying loose. So I wasn't wrong, but that's
staying warm.
Number. Yeah. If you're going to be a Carl Albert pitcher, as he drops a bunt here on the right side, does Davis. That's going to score a run. Nobody's covering the bag. It's a bunt single for Davis. My goodness. Hawkins, meanwhile, moves up to third. Or, excuse me, Fake's moving up to third. He'll still back to second. That's a bunt single for Bo Davis. And it scores another run. It's 12-0. Beautiful bunt by Davis.
One of the stories of this game has been Carl Albert bunting.
Yeah, they've bunted really well. This guy dropped a good bunt last time. Devontae Jones scored a run. Point I was going to make, if you're going to be a starting pitcher for Carl Albert baseball, you've got to be used to long offensive innings. I mean, it just kind of comes with the territory. You got to be able to stay warm.
Carl Albert has 9 hits, 7 walks, and only 2 strikeouts today at the plate.
They're going to say Jones got a piece of that bunt, so runners will have to go back. 12-0 Carl Albert. 1 in the first, 3 in the second, didn't score in the third, 4 in the fourth, and now 4 more here in the fifth to lead at 12-0 on top of Lawton Mack. Pretty dominant display by the Titans here today on their home field. Jones will drop another bunt off the mound as Bordelon fires the first. He's safe. He beat it. Infield single for Devontae Jones. Saw Bordelon, his feet kind of slid a little bit again, almost in the same spot we saw McDonald earlier. So it's a bunt single for Jones. He'll take it. That's his first of the day, first of the game. And the bases are now loaded for Declan Murphy. The Titans are 1 more batter from batting around.
Yeah, I thought we might see a visit to the umpire from Lawton Mack's coach on this.
That was a close play at first. I kind of, in live action, I kind of thought he was out.
I did.
But it's a tough call, and it's 2 umpires here, so he's calling from across the diamond. It's a tough call.
I'd be telling the umpire, don't you want to get this game over with?
That might be part of it from Coach DeLong, 12-0.
They're gonna have
let's go here.
They're going to talk about something, though. That's not.
Well, he asked him to appeal to the home umpire. The home umpire's not going to overrule the umpire in the field unless he just absolutely certain of the call.
Egregious. You can almost see a face expression just kind of like, are you kidding me? So we roll on. Bases are loaded with 1 out here for Declan Murphy. Murphy 1 for 3, a single and a couple of strikeouts. But, with the bases loaded here, he's going to be looking to do some significant damage. Murphy in the box ready to go here against Bordelon. Misses low, 1-0. Like we said, after Murphy, Jason Purcell, who led off this inning. Really making my scorecard messy if we get back around here. Got to get creative. 1-0 to Murphy. Misses 2-0. A dominant display by the Titans here today. Can't ask for really any more. 2-0 count to Declan Murphy with the bases loaded. Ooh, big swing. Took something off that. Did Bordelon, and Murphy was out in front of it, looking for heat. Pulled the string. 2-1. Barring something miraculous, Carl Albert will be in the 2-0 spot. Play at 6:30 tomorrow night. 2-1, swung on and missed. That game tomorrow night will be on the Oklahoma Sports Network and will they win, to send Carl Albert to the state tournament again as they try to go for the three-peat on state titles. Two and two coming here. Murphy able to foul it off the dugout. Highlanders dugout. MacArthur, meanwhile, will be at 4 o'clock tomorrow. Is that going to be on OSN as well?
Yes.
It'll be a 4 o'clock start tomorrow against either Guyman or Southeast. It'll be whoever can survive the elimination game tonight between the Spartans and the Tigers. That ball smoked into deep left center. Declan Murphy with a rocket. That's going to score 2 runs at least. They'll hold it at 2. It's a 2-run double for Murphy. That was a clean, laced ball right in the gap. And the Titans now scored 2 touchdowns, 14-0. So Hawkins and Davis score. Devontae Jones goes to third. And we have now batted around as we're back to Jason Purcell. Smallest runs you've seen Carl Albert scoring a game. You got one that jumps out at you?
I don't remember.
This might be up there for me.
2 years ago and 3 years ago when they hosted Ardmore first game, that had to be up there. I just don't remember what the total was. Didn't they have a lot against Altus in one of those 2 games?
Yeah, I think so. It's this spot where Carl Albert's the road team. You get that 5th at bat you wouldn't necessarily always get when you really get games out of hand. 1-1 on Purcell. Purcell is actually 0 for 3 today. He's grounded out twice and reached on an error earlier in this inning. Back to lead off this inning.
Wouldn't be surprised for Carl Albert if in 3 games they used 3 different catchers. Last year they relied on Easton Harless to catch the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
This year they carry 3 catchers that they use.
Ball skied into left field. Actually, it's going to get into foul ground and be played back behind by Kawina. So, frustrating day for Purcell as he fouls out. He goes 0 for 4 on the day. Brings up Jackson Webster. Webster's been on base all 3 times. He walked, he singled, and then he got plunked to be the first or the second base runner of this very large 6-run 5th inning for the Titans. Second and third, 2 outs for Webster. Cuts on and misses. Webster taking the mantle of the yellow gloves and the yellow shin protector. We've seen a lot of Titans sport that the last few years.
I don't know if I told you this, Josh, in the game where Jax Webster's playing, but did you know his great uncle was a McDonald's All-American with Carl Albert?
Oh, that's awesome.
And played at OU.
They were doing McDonald's. I'm about to sound really silly maybe. I didn't realize McDonald's All-Americans went that far back. How far back are we talking?
We're talking about 1989.
Okay, I was thinking, okay. That sounds about right, I guess.
And it was a much younger uncle than his grandfather will say.
Sure.
But also Jeff Webster, I don't know if you remember when he played at OU. I mean, not that you were around then, but he was a good player for Billy Tubbs. But also he was a McDonald's All-American teammate with one Shaquille O'Neal.
Well, how about that? Ground ball to third, fielded by Kawina, fires across, and Webster this time they call him out. And that'll end the inning. A long inning comes to a merciful end for Lawton Mack. Titans score 6 runs, and they've got a huge lead. 14-0 CA. They're going to try and finish this on a run roll as we come up in the bottom of the 5th on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
When you're on the road, there's a lot of late nights. A lot of early mornings.
Not supposed to say that.
A lot of honey butter chicken biscuits. You hear my belly growling?
Yep. I'm going to need one of those right now.
And a lot of good times with my band.
What a burger!
Back at Bill Tipton Field, Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray, Tracy Mussett. Head to the bottom of the 5th. Carl Albert leading 14-0 over Lawton Max. Certainly look like they're well on the way to a run roll win here unless MacArthur can score 5 in the bottom half of the 5th. Bottom of the inning brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, 5500 Tinker Diagonal in Del City. Buffalo Wild Wings BOGO wing deals every Tuesday and Thursday. So get on out to B-Dubs, buy some wings today. That's today. Today's Thursday. So go today.
The other good part about these 2 wins today for Carl Albert is 2 pitchers going complete games, so they've not had to burn through their bullpen at all.
That does help. I mean, that mounts up as you go along. Keep guys as fresh as you can to get ready to unload the tank, theoretically, next week.
That's always been the recipe when they have postseason success. They don't make many pitching changes.
No.
The exception was the state title game last year. They made 1 pitching change, but that's all they needed.
No, it seems like when I've been doing the last few years here in the postseason, it's pretty much guys go the length of the games. It's kind of how it's been.
What's interesting is they have a bullpen if they need to go to one. They're not like some of those teams that don't have a lot of good players, so they often will bring a reliever out from their positions, position player.
Ground ball to second base for Bo DeLong, mishandled, but flipped back to first, and they did get him. Nice play by Sexton. He almost lost handle for a moment. Was able to flip and get the out.
I expect Lane Sexton to play shortstop tomorrow if Declan Murphy's the starter.
There's some frustration from MacArthur fans about that play at first. I thought he was out in live. I thought the one was out earlier, too.
Well, I thought MacArthur fan got thrown out.
Yeah.
What makes that unbelievable is the score. I mean, save your energy for another time. I guess the fans probably maybe frustrated with a series of calls. I don't know. But.
Yeah, well, you had the play. It's the mounting of the play earlier. I thought they both were out. I'm just going to put that out there. I thought it was a wrong call before. I thought that one was fine. 1 out, and brings up Thatcher Zeller. Yeah, we had a Mac fan. Thankfully, nothing beyond that. They argued. He got ejected. He left. Nothing more to it than that.
He just gets a head start back.
Yeah, it's over. He's going to miss 2 batters, probably.
Now, if Guyman wins tonight, I expect they'll be in a hotel. But,
I would hope.
Yeah. For Lon MacArthur.
Because Guyman is in another planet so far.
I expect Lon MacArthur to drive home and come back.
Cut on and missed here is Thatcher Zeller. That's something I don't envy whenever the Carl Albert guys, and maybe you've had to do it before, I don't know, whenever they have had to go to Guyman in football in the past.
It's been a while because Guyman doesn't play in the OSAA anymore in football.
Oh, okay, I didn't even realize
that. But they have had to, back in 2020 or something like that.
Swung out and missed. Zeller is sat down, and 2 outs, and MacArthur down to the final outs. Gage McNeil. McNeil 0 for 2 today, a strikeout and a fly out. Yeah, Guyman is there are ways out there. We've had Guyman come to Del City in basketball before. And
right.
It's a long trip.
We did some Guyman girls games, Tracy and I, basketball.
Yep. It is a long trip, way out there in the Panhandle. This ball's lifted out to the left center. Could do it. Webster not able to catch it. He looked like he kind of overran it. Had to almost leap and go backhand a little, so mishandled there by Webster. It's probably going to be an E. And it keeps the game going.
E7? No.
Would be. It went off the glove of Webster. If nobody touches it, you
great
never
time to make that mistake. All you want is people who want the game over with. But
if you're going to do it, now would be the time. So the game extends. Spencer Thurman will come up.
By the way, the longest drive I had for football, we never went to Guyman, but we did go to Arkansas.
There you go.
Very first ever broadcast. Eric came with us for that, too. It was a Saturday, though.
Cut on a miss. When I was started with OSN in 2020, Newcastle's season opener that year was actually supposed to be against Derby from Kansas, but the game didn't happen because of COVID. Yeah.
The following, we were going to go to Texas, and the following year we ended up doing that. We went to McKinney. So that was also quite a trip. Couldn't wait to get home.
That one misses. 1-1. 2 years ago in the playoff, Newcastle played against Poto, which is basically Arkansas.
Way east.
It's way out there. But that's still probably not as far as Guyman does.
But you didn't go to that
Guyman's
game.
a solid 4 hours away.
But you didn't go to that game, did you?
No, I was out for a job. I think I was in.
Yeah.
I think that was Utah. I think it was BYU weekend, Salt Lake City. So
you traveled farther, but of course you take the plane.
Took a
when
flight.
You do that.
Yeah, I didn't drive all the way out to Poto. That ended up being a good game too. I watched from my hotel room. I caught the end. Worked out for Newcastle fans. I got the great Eric Sharam on the call in my place.
Yeah.
1-2, pop foul back.
And someone
Arthur down to their final strike here.
Someone replaced Billy Collier too, I think, for that.
Potentially, it might have been maybe the great Gene Reed. Gene Reed is obviously does a phenomenal job. He's our go-to substitute on the Newcastle broadcast. I have to go out of town for my other job a couple times a season. Usually Gene steps in for me. 1-2 is lofted out to left field. Jackson Webster back on it. Gets a chance to make up for the last one. A perfect do-over, and he pulls it in to end the ball game. That's it. Mason Avery goes complete game in 5 innings, and Carl Albert a thoroughly dominant display as they knock out Lawton Mac 14-0 to move to 2-0 in regional play, 27-9 overall. And the Titans will go 2-0. They'll be playing tomorrow night, 6:30, with a chance to move on to the state tournament next week up in Tulsa. Jordan, any kind of final thoughts on this one? I mean, this was I don't know what more you could really hope for if you're the Titans. I mean, you pitched well with Mason Avery. You played good D outside of the air right there with 2 outs in the 5th, and he obviously hit 1 through 9. Pretty much everyone hit.
No, just it was like I said earlier. They had a very tough end of the schedule. Lost to a team from Kansas that I'm sure was really good. Talking about Carl Albert, that was a week ago. Edmond Memorial, that was actually exactly a week ago, but then they lost to a team from McPherson, Kansas. Piedmont on Monday. So they had a 3-game losing streak going into this, and then they also had tough losses against Noble and Elgin the week before. So this was a game where you're playing the top seed in this regional, except for you, talking about Carl Albert. So Lawton MacArthur is the highest seed here that they would play, and they played pretty much a flawless game.
No doubt about it. Tracy, for you, any final thoughts? I mean, a dominant display.
Looking forward to tomorrow's games. Lawton Mac early, and then the winner of that game, whoever they might be playing, against Carl Albert. And Jordan, you were saying that we probably expect to see Declan Murphy pitch tomorrow. Was that?
I mean, my prediction.
Yep.
But who knows? They got other guys that can go too. But these are the stars we've been seeing and those big baseball district matchups. Is Declan Murphy is one of them. And the other one being who we saw here tonight, or this evening, Mason Avery.
So, a very good day for Carl Albert. They win both games. They run both games. They get shutouts in both games. Can't ask for really any more than what Coach Whiteley got from his guys today. And they'll try and finish the job tomorrow night. 6:30 approximate first pitch back here at Bill Tipton Field. The game will be on the Oklahoma Sports Network. The Titans will see either, obviously, Lawton Mac again, or it could be one of the other 2 teams as well, as they'll play for their postseason lives. You're coming up just a little bit, Guyman in Southeast here at Bill Tipton Field. We will have the 4 o'clock game as well, so Lawton Mac fans tuned in on the Oklahoma Sports Network, obviously OSN School as well. Their 4 o'clock game will also be on our airwaves against either a rematch with Guyman, or they'll see Southeast at 4 to try and prolong their season into the nightcap in a rematch with the Titans. That's it. We thank you so much for watching our triple header of postseason baseball today on OSN. Obviously, shout out to Jordan, puts a lot of time and effort into making these games happen. 2 more tomorrow. Tracy Mussett as well. Great getting to hang with him throughout the day. That's it. Carl Albert wins over Lawton Mac 14-0. 1 win away from returning back to the 5A state tournament once again in 2025. That's it for Tracy Mussett and Jordan Ray. I'm Josh Calloway signing off from Bill Tipton Field. We'll see you tomorrow, 4 o'clock, first pitch. Lawton Mac against either Guyman or Southeast in the Carl Albert Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.